My Premier League preview for Arsenal versus Burnley, 2 games to go. This is going to define my life. At the end of it, if we beat Burnley this evening, Monday night, I think we can almost say that Arsenal have won the league, personally. I think we can go ahead and say that, after this match. Of course, nothing is written in stone. We know Crystal Palace are going to bring their best side up. My problem with Premier League teams this season has been every time they have come to play Arsenal, we are the team to beat. It's like when you beat Arsenal, you've got like a badge of honor to say you've beaten us. And I've been listening out, hearing to see why everyone has got this resentment and this angst about our team, about Arsenal, just to find out what is motivating these, some teams. Look at West Ham, how they performed over the weekend compared to how they performed previously. It says a lot. We are basically the team to beat. It makes the other players, other teams feel good. They're in the news for longer. So for marketing purposes as well, you have to beat us to stay relevant. Otherwise, I don't think West Ham have had this much press 10 days after the game as they did, throughout their season. So here is probably how Burnley are going to line up. Max Wise in goal. He sounds German, this guy. A back four of Lucas Perez, Esteve, Townsebe, and Kyle Walker, who is a former Manchester City captain. This guy, I thought when he played for Manchester City was pretty decent, but he went through some stuff. I don't even know. To be honest, I still think he could have done a job, but I feel like for his personal life, he had to leave Manchester City, whatever. Holding midfielders of Ogochukwu and Florentino Luis. This game, because of the scrutiny, these guys are going to be trying to get new clubs out of it. So we need to be really careful and cunning to bypass these guys. And then we've got Jadon Anthony, Mejbri, Tuna, and Jean Fleming possibly starting for Burnley. And these guys are going to bring their A game. Their manager, Mike Jackson, has basically said we're going to give it our all. He doesn't like that people are already counting them out of this competition. There's no need to do that, Mike. You know what I mean? You're already down. Just come in, have a nice day out and go home, please. Do me a favor. Arsenal's possible lineup. This is how actually the back four, this is how I probably want the back four to line up, except one, depending on the left back options. So we've got David Ryan go, of course. Now, we've got a problem. We know Ben White is out with a knee injury. Mosquera has to come in. No experiments. We do not want. Just start Mosquera. Because when you think about it, Jadon Anthony, I don't think he will have that skill set to go ahead and run over Mosquera. Mosquera does not offer a lot of attacking wing back play because it's a central defender, so of course it doesn't have that fluidity in the back or in wing play, but he is stable. It gives us an extra line. It also will allow Saliba to make some more forward darting runs, which he can do sometimes. And yeah, I think they communicate well enough. It's just so unfortunate because when Ben White plays, Bukayo is smooth, baby. He is so smooth. I love it. But Mosquera should start. I know Jurriën Timber has been teased. Like Arsenal, Arteta is cheeky. He's like teasing. But even if Jurriën Timber is fit, he should definitely only come on as a substitute later in the game. We pray that we are going to be really good, get an early go and go from there. On the left wing, we have got, they've put Piero Hincapié there because Calafiori had to come off early against West Ham. But like that change, I think it was to sort of balance the team. He made a mistake, I think. I don't think Hincapié is complete. I mean, Calafiori is completely injured. I think he should be able to play. If he plays against Burnley, it definitely gives us more offensive play. But also, Hincapié is not as limited as Mosquera in those fullback options. He's not as limited. He can put in a fantastic cross and stuff, but the crazy foraging runs of Calafiori would definitely absolutely help us because we need to kill this game early. First half, 2 goals, shut it down, make as many subs as you want. That will be my approach. Midfield has to be Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Please, I do not want to see an experiment here. The only thing I would be worried about, of course, with Miles Lewis-Skelly is, like he's very easy to sort of foul. Sometimes can go down. I'm hoping this time out, he is reflecting more on it, but he take less chances by going down, because the referees, to be honest, people, not only the referees, people are panicking that Arsenal have got a great chance of winning this league. So we need to make sure that we don't give them a chance. Make sure when you get the ball in that central position, unless you've got crazy cover, you pass it on, move it forward, move it sideways, but in a forward sideways. No back passes are allowed in the name of Jesus today, please. And then offensively, Bukayo Saka, Eze, Trossard. Like I've told you guys over and over again, for me, I prefer Martin Odegaard in that midfield because I feel like we get more control in our attacking. It's not just let's hope for the best. He has got this deliberate, kind of thing that he does. He controls that very well. My issue is his fragility. Any small thing is out for 6 weeks. So yeah, I don't mind this lineup where we've got Saka, Eze, and Trossard, and then he comes on as a substitute later in the game because he will have to start for me in the final of the Champions League. 100% he has to start, Martin Odegaard. But in the meantime, give him a good amount of gameplay so that he's got that bond and basically he's got that rhythm with the players and the team. But yeah, so far, I think Monday night we should have Saka, Eze, and Trossard. And then up front, Victor Gyökeres. Of course, please do not even try any experiment. Do not even test Victor Gyökeres because this guy can get us a goal or 10 and he gives us a stability. He'll keep Esteve and Tuanzebe busy. And then even Kyle Walker will be busy. So everyone is going to be busy, basically making sure that Victor Gyökeres is not running onto any balls in those channels, etc., etc. So if we line up like that, I feel like Arsenal can win this match. I've gone for 2-0 and I'll maintain 2-0. I would do with a 4-0, not because of any goal difference stuff, but just because it will like drive fear through everybody's hearts. Because remember, Manchester City are playing. They're playing Bournemouth tomorrow night, Tuesday night. So that is what we need. We need basically to make sure that we shut this show down. I feel like we do not have any good reason to be even anxious about this game because it's a home game. We've been pretty decent at home. Only a few teams have done a job on us at home. And one of them is Bournemouth. But otherwise, I think we're going to win this match. I'm going to go for 2-0, hopefully more. I don't see why we should be conceding a goal to Burnley, but we've got Kyle Walker playing for Burnley, motivated managers and players who want to showcase their skill against Arsenal. That's just the things we've had to deal with this season. So I don't know what you guys think is going to happen tonight. Let me know. Do you feel like Arsenal can win this? I feel like they can. I really do. Let's have a look at tomorrow's games because we've got Bournemouth versus Manchester City. I have maintained since Manchester City caught up with Arsenal that Bournemouth is their banana skin. I didn't think Everton were going to do anything to Manchester City personally, but I think Bournemouth is the team. Bournemouth have been crazy since the beginning of the season. This season already. I don't think this year. They've actually lost many. And at home as well, they are formidable. They've also got something to play for. They win their next 2 games, they are going into the Champions League. Let me check the table. So if Bournemouth win the next 2 games, they will be finishing on 61 points. No. Wait a minute. 6 plus 5, 61 points. And Liverpool, all right, okay. And they're playing Liverpool, isn't it? I think Bournemouth's next game. Who's their last game? Nottingham Forest. They're playing Nottingham Forest. Let's see. If Liverpool win their next game, they get 62 points. 62 points. If Bournemouth, yes, there's a chance. The thing is, Liverpool, his last game is against Brentford. That's why I was making the mistakes against Brentford. They should be able to win that. But who knows what happens? Liverpool are one of the most unpredictable sides this season. So yeah, get to 51 points. Pray that Liverpool do not win. and go from there. So they've got something to play for to keep themselves in touch with a Champions League spot. At the moment, they have definitely, I think, qualified for Europe to play in the Europa League. But imagine Bournemouth in the Champions League. I think they can do us a favor. I reckon on Tuesday night, Bournemouth are going to go all out. And imagine like Ariola is already, looking for, imagine just doing that, the reputation, his job prospects just expand exponentially. By going into the Champions League, qualifying for the Champions League, he will be one of those managers who will be forever like employable, in my opinion. They've got a similar kind of form with Manchester City. They've drawn 1 in 5, won the other 4, same as Manchester City, 1 draw, 5 wins in the last 5 games. So similar form, but Bournemouth at home are pretty formidable. So Man City need to be very careful. But Man City have got so many tools in that box. They're very dangerous. And, as much as we've got this whole, we know their way they've won their stuff is not exactly kosher, but Pep is the master, You just have to, I don't think, despite all the corruption and the money, if it wasn't for Pep, I think we would not have all these problems of winning. Pep is actually the key. You see Manchester City fans, the minute Pep leaves that club, they are going to be basically another Aston Villa, in my opinion, always flirting somewhere. They are basically about to go through some drought when Pep leaves. So tomorrow we've got Aston Villa, Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a draw or Bournemouth win. Manchester City, I don't know. Chelsea, Tottenham is also another big game. Crazy. But I've got a feeling away from home, Tottenham are not going to win this. It could be a draw, a Chelsea win. And Chelsea have also apparently signed, got a new manager. Yeah. Alonso is going to be their new manager. So basically, they've got something they want to basically prove that they should stay at this club, because he's definitely going to come in and make some changes, make sure he's got the kind of players that he wants. A lot of these boys that they got for crazy contracts will have to make way and find other teams. But of course, with new teams coming up from the Champions League, I think they'll be able to find one. But otherwise, let's see, do we have any games on Wednesday? On Wednesday, it's a Europa League final, Freiburg versus Aston Villa, and we'll have a look at that as well on another day. But in the meantime, focusing on Arsenal, I reckon Arsenal can do their job, in my opinion, against Burnley tonight, and I'm hoping everyone who's traveling there is going to absolutely make the atmosphere crazy. From minute 1 to minute 90, you guys should be screaming the place down. That's the only way to do it. Otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me. I'll be talking to you very soon, hopefully after I win against Burnley tonight. Bye-bye.